All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is another Friday evening here at Corporate Life Show with McAden. Yes, we are back and stronger. This is Corporate Life, and I'm so excited to be doing this with us once again. I'm so glad that we have been able to conquer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And anywhere you are right now, as you keep saying thank God it's Friday, as you keep expecting that weekend, that Saturday morning where you wake up and say, wow, you stretch your leg and this, I hope you still are able to find time to join us this evening. Yes, I know you are tired, I know you are coming back from work, but then we must come back to this spot where we discuss important topics that relate to you as a professional, as an entrepreneur, as an employer, as whoever you may be in your space, whatever you may be doing in your space. I do hope tonight's discussion imparts you and you're able to learn one or two things from the discussion tonight. And I'm so excited. I'm so glad that my guest tonight is here with us. Last week we could not do this because of technical issues, but today we've been able to conquer all the technical issues. But then, audience, please, as you join us on the conversation tonight, please drop a comment in the comment section. Let's know. Let's get the feeling that you can hear me. Let's get the feeling that you can actually see me live here on your screen. And today is exceptional, a memorial one for us at Corporate Life Show with from the entire team. We're saying thank you, a big thank you to everyone who have been joining us. But then, what is so spectacular about today's show is the fact that we are also streaming live on YouTube. So if you are there right now watching us and you feel okay, let me just switch to YouTube. You can watch us live right now on YouTube, and you will see everything we'll be discussing. You'll be able to hear everything we'll be sharing with you on the conversation tonight. Remember, this is Corporate Live with McAden, and tonight we'll be discussing a very important topic: becoming. This is not the becoming of course, of Barack Obama's wife, and this is a special becoming, and it is about you tonight. And just wait a moment as we get the display on the screen for you to know what we're discussing today. Remember, this is Corporate Life with McAden, and I can't wait for us to start the conversation proper. It's going to be a 1 hour stretch of conversation. It's going to be a 1 hour impactful conversation. Please do join us, and as you join us, please do remember to invite your friends to also join on the conversation tonight, because it's going to be an impactful one. It's going to be a life-changing conversation, and I'm sure my guest is ready to give the best our best to all the questions that we'll be asking at this evening. And for those of you who have one or two questions for her, please also don't forget to drop your question in the chat box. And if you are joining us right now, please also drop a comment, and especially for those that are joining us on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on our channel so that you can get notification every time we come live on Corporate Live Show with McAden. So thank you very much for those who have joined us already. We appreciate to see your comments in the comment box so that we can bring greetings to you from the studio at Corporate Live with McAden. Today is going to be a conversation. In a moment, we'll be back. Thank you very much. All right. Yes, we are back. And we are about to start tackling those questions. And with me tonight on the show, tackling the question is no other person. I'll be displaying a profile so that you can get a little bit detailed information about her. So today's discussion is going to be an engaging one. I promise you that for sure. It's going to be an enlightening one for sure. But don't be selfish about what we're sharing with you tonight. And in a way to show that selfish character, that selfish attitude, share the link with your friends. Let's get them on the show. Let them join us on the show right now. Let's get them to also discover the way to become a valuable, highly valuable staff in this particular period of time where recession is taking toll on all professionals around the world. So, especially for those of us in Nigeria. So, with me tonight on the discussion is Aderonke Salami. Thank you very much for joining us on the conversation tonight. We are so happy to have you, Aderonke. Thank you for being here. Thank you. We are glad to have you. Finally, we can do this tonight. Yes, we can do this tonight. So for the audience that are watching us, this is a profile. You can read a lot about her on her LinkedIn profile. On her LinkedIn account, you can. She shares so many insightful, so many educative information as an HR professional, and she does a lot of things. She has won so many awards, and I can't. There are so many things to talk about tonight, but because of the time we have left on the show, we want to be able to just move on straight to the discussion. Like I always say, it's always nice to have you around Aderonke. So thank you very much for being here tonight. What do you have to say to the audience tonight that are watching us live?
I think we lost you for a minute, but just so that I understand what you said, I didn't get the last part of what you said. So you need to come back again.
All right. Thank you very much. The conversation continues as we go on and on to talk on the topic of the of our focus tonight. Remember, becoming a highly valued staff amid an economic recession. So that's what we're focusing on tonight, and it's going to be an interesting one. So for those of us that are joining us, please invite your friends, as I said earlier on. And thank you very much. I can see 𝗛𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗵 Emmanuel joining us right now from LinkedIn. Thank you very much, 𝗛𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗵 Emmanuel, saying lovely to be here tonight. Thank you very much, 𝗛𝗶𝗵𝗵, for joining us on the conversation. As many people that will join us would like to say greetings to you as you join us on the conversation tonight. Because of our time, we're moving straight to the question. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying tuned. And the question number one for us today is some people still are not clear about the situation of the country tonight. As at this time, how to define what is really going on for us is somehow for us in the country tonight. At this point in time. So, what do you think about the economic situation of the country? Are we in a recession? How do you define recession in your own way based on our own situation in this country?
Well, thank you for having me in. Such a pleasure to hear this. You invited me. I would say that everybody's Nigeria is going through so much as it is, especially with daily news that we see, daily upgrades and policies and things like that. You can only see that,
I don't know. I'm finding it difficult to hear you. Is it me?
I can actually hear you. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
So maybe if you can choose the background music, Thank you so much. So can you hear me now?
Sure, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. So yes. So to your question, I was saying that everybody's feeling it, especially with the new changes that we are going through. 2016 was a time when, due to the oil price decrease, and that's when we had a huge recession. And I would say for a fact that, we're currently facing one because a lot of people are finding it difficult to, they're finding it difficult to manage, especially with the hike in petrol pricing and all of the food, the transportation. Everything is going, for a lack of better word, gagas at this point. And so I would say yes, we are. I'm not an economist, so I'm not going to go deep into that aspect, but I would just say that a lot of us are really, a lot of people are really facing it here in Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, it's been tough, but only the toughest can survive this time, and that is why we're having this conversation. How do you become a high value staff in the midst of recession, especially when everyone is almost giving up, and we can't even ascertain if there is a future or not, but we hold on to hope, and I do believe that hope can cause a change. But then, as we believe on hope, we need to be practical about our process, our strategies on how to become better and how we can take advantage of the situations around us at this point in time. So we're moving on to the next question. How can an organization demonstrate resilience and adaptability in the face of economic challenges that we're facing in the country at this point in time? Aderonke, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, I just showed. I just asked the next question. I'm not so sure if you heard me.
No, I didn't hear you. I think your network is going off and on, so it's making it difficult for me to hear some of the things that you're saying. But I can hear you, so you can repeat your question.
Okay. The question is, how can an organization demonstrate resilience and adaptability? Actually, the question is on the screen. If you can hear me or not, once I repeat the question, just give an answer, a response to the question. I do hope that the network becomes stable later on as we continue the conversation. So the question is, how can an organization demonstrate resilience and adaptability in the face of an economic challenges that we are facing right now in the country?
I feel like at this point, everybody is facing it one way or the other, whether as an employee or as an employer. And I would say that, it's the responsibility of a lot of organizations to make sure that, the survival and the success of the company is top notch, or is top priority. So I would say that some of the strategies or some of the things that businesses can face and can do is have an agile leadership. It is very important that they're able to adapt to new changes, new environmental changes, economic changes, new even workplace changes at this point. It's very important that they also diversify into different things, because at this point we're finding it that a lot of businesses cannot hold on as they ought to be at this point. And so it's important that there's a lot of diversity to implement in these organizations. Another thing I would also say is that there needs to be a lot of planning involved in terms of innovation, in terms of employee engagement, in terms of making sure that the businesses are running smoothly. It's important that, there's a need for an overall change, right, in the way things are being done. What we see these days is that what was applicable, I mean, a couple of months ago is not applicable right now, and we need to be able to change that for our own. For our own good. I mean, another thing that I will also say, and which is very, very important, is that there should be flexibility in operations. I mean, these days, I'm sure that a lot of people cannot afford to come to work 5 days a week, 6 days a week. There's that need to embrace change in terms of working conditions, in terms of productivity, in terms of value chain, in terms of even pricing strategies. So I think those are things that organizations should be able to implement, in these times.
Interesting share. I cannot agree less with what those suggestions, those points you raised, especially when it comes to organizations setting up offline and or an hybrid kind of work function environment for the employers. Employees to be able to manage with the economy, especially at this point in time. So thank you very much, Aderonke. Okay, let's move on straight to how these affect the public, the professionals, the employees themselves. So this takes us to the next question, and the next question is, as an employee, how do you remain highly valued, a highly valued staff member, and are there specific tips that you want to share with us, or strategies that you want to share with us? Because this is the main area of focus for this conversation. So thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. So I keep losing you, so I'm going to say that as an employee, becoming a highly valued staff is very necessary in this economic situation. One, because there's a high, how do I put this now? When I say there's a low demand in getting jobs, and there's a high percentage of people who are looking for jobs. So you cannot afford to lose your job at this point in time. That's something that you should be considered. And last week I was sharing that, it is your responsibility as an employee to make sure that you are relevant in your organization. You cannot afford to be redundant at this point, and you cannot afford to, it's your responsibility to grow. Nobody's going to help you grow. While I understand that some organizations are focused on grooming their employees, I would also say that it is your responsibility as an employee to grow in your current field. And so some strategies and tips that I think that would help you is your quality of work. Now is the time to put in the extra effort. It is important that you are, you're paying attention to detail. You're meeting your deadlines as you ought to. You're striving for excellence. Whatever task that is being given to you, you're acing it without so much as having too many corrections to be done. Another thing I would say here is that there's that need to be learning continuously. You cannot stop learning. Stay up to date with your current industry trends, because things are changing and you want to be a part of that change. And so you need to be very, very growth-minded, or if I'm going to put it properly, have a growth mindset as to what you're doing. Invest your time in learning, relearning, and unlearning. Another thing I would say that would help you to become a very highly valued staff is to take initiative. It's important that you demonstrate being proactive. Nobody has time to babysit anybody. Nobody has time to, if there's the need for you to, do something different in your current field, you need to be able to share that and let people know. You also want to be very adaptable because things are really changing. And I was sharing last week in another speaking engagement that I said I was asked that, if an employee has to have any superpower, what superpower would that be? While I jokingly said that if it was supposed to be like a movie, I would pick Iron Man. But in terms of skills, I would say that a superpower that you should have should be adaptability. Being able to embrace change and being able to be flexible alongside. Because take for instance this new policies that we're seeing currently. How are you able to adapt to this change in such a way that you're not removed from the situation at the end of the day? Because let's face it, a lot of businesses are going to want to, reduce staff. And if you're not highly valuable to that organization, there's that probability, a very high one, that you're going to be, you're going to be removed. Let me use the word that way. So it's very important that you are able to adapt to changes and use the changes to your advantage. At this time and point, it is also important to collaborate. Collaboration is key in anything that you are doing. You cannot do it alone, and so you need people to help you. So people within your space would help you to grow, will help you become valuable, because you're learning from them, you're taking from them, you're also giving back. It's a two-way kind of thing. So you don't want to be an island. Anyone who is an island right now is probably not able to give in the best that they ought to. But nowadays, we see companies wanting people to collaborate, even collaborate with other organizations. Take, for instance, I saw an advert recently with Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They did some sort of advert that pushed Pepsi out of the way. I think it was an adaptation of Lion King 1, where Scar pushed out Mufasa, right? And then we see Coke Zero come up on the other side and, displays that, okay, I'm the next in line. And that's collaboration. Do you understand? Those who are loyal to Coca-Cola will be loyal to Coca-Cola. Those who are loyal to Pepsi will be loyal to Pepsi. Those who are loyal to Coke Zero will be. But all of this wouldn't have been possible if they were not able to collaborate together. Those are things that we want to focus on to become very highly, valued in the organization. Another thing is you have to have problem-solving skills. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you will see that that's something that I speak about a lot. You have to be able to solve problems on the go, which talks about you taking initiative at the end of the day. And the last thing I want to say is, for you to become a highly valued staff, you have to have a positive mindset, have a positive attitude. I know that the society isn't helping us right now. Our government is looking haywire right now, but having that positive attitude also helps you to solidify your position in the company. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Those are fantastic points. I have to hold myself back. Time was pushing me at you to stop you. Let's move on to the next question. But those valuable points were so necessary for me to allow you to share those valuable points so that our audience can pick critical point from what you've shared, because that is the headline of this conversation so far for me. I do hope our audience pick one or two points there. I think I can see some chat in the chat box over there. Thank you very much. I can see Aderonke 𝗛𝗶𝗵𝗵 for joining us live right now on the show. Thank you very much, Aderonke 𝗛𝗶𝗵𝗵. And I can see that she's joining us from LinkedIn. Abayami also joined us earlier on LinkedIn. I do hope we can get more people to join us from other platforms like Facebook. We're also streaming live from Facebook. We're streaming live from from YouTube. I mean, on YouTube right now, you can watch us live on YouTube. That is new on the Corporate Life Show. We've always been doing LinkedIn and Facebook Live, but this time around we're on YouTube. Thank you very much, Aderonke, for joining us tonight. It's been a conversation actually, looking at the angle from which you've been tackling each of the questions is being an educative one, and I'm sure our audience are getting the best. So, audience, please, as you keep listening on the show, please share your opinion in the comment section. We'd like to know what you think about each questions as we go on and on the show tonight. We do hope time we allow us to tweet as many of those questions as we have on the list for tonight's discussion. So thank you very much. Moving on so quickly on the questions, on the list we have here, it's question number 4. What steps can you say take to enhance your skills? Because one of the points you raised earlier on is on skills development and problem solving skill. Particularly, I hold on to that thought, because the hardware we have right now, we have so many problems, and my philosophy is that in every problem there's a solution, and in every solution you provide, that is a business. So what steps can you take to enhance your skills and knowledge to stay ahead in a competitive job market during this recession? Because learning is now becoming expensive, because things are becoming expensive. How do you cope with that? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that question. Yeah. I'm laughing because this is something that is very important, and a lot of us professionals take it for granted. I would say that your skills are your skills, but if they're not sharpened, they become redundant. They become, just there. They're not. It just becomes blunt. Let me use that word. It's just like when they say iron sharpens iron. Without sharpening the iron, it's just going to be blunt. And so I'll say that. Yeah. I mentioned this before. You have to continue learning. That's part of. That's part of one of the steps that you can take. You have to embrace that mindset of continuous learning. There's so much information going on every day. So they check out online webinars, their courses, there's workshops, there are different learning opportunities, and most of them are free. And another thing is, YouTube is such a beautiful place to learn so much if you don't have money to spend on anything at this moment. So take on courses. Take on learning from YouTube, take on learning from Google and all of that. It would help, a lot. But that's not all. Excuse me. That's really not all. You have to also embrace new trends, and new trends starts with like networking. We have a lot of professionals that are very good at their jobs, but they're so I don't want to use the word introverted, because a lot of people are not introverted, but they're just laid back about their profession. So take, for instance, somebody reaches out to you and says, "Oh, I'm looking for a job, or I'm in this role, I want to, transition into another role." And you begin to ask them questions. You can see a sense of laid backness, right? A sense of I'm okay where I am. I just want to know if there's a ability, and that usually just stems from the fact that many people, are very scared to embrace change, right? But with networking, you're able to learn from other people. You're able to build relationships. You're able to focus on your industry. By the time you're engaging with people within your industry, you're learning things, you're gaining insights, you're getting job opportunities, because those who you speak to already know what you can do, and they're going to refer you to people who, that's what word of mouth does for you at the end of the day, if you get my point. Aside from that, this is another part that people, are very skeptical about, right? I feel like we're in this season where just having one job is not enough for you anymore. Embrace side gigs. I have a community, and one of the days what we do is that we share side hustles that we do in the community. So if you have a side hustle,
I would like to join that community. I like to make money,
Just share it so that people can engage with you. So pick up something on the side. That means learn a new skill. If it's that you're good with writing, start writing. Aside from maybe you're an engineer, or aside from maybe
Mhm.
you're a tech person, it
Mhm.
helps a lot, especially side gigs that are in line with what you do. It does, it does a lot of wonders. Now, another thing you should also embrace is, volunteering. That's like a gold mine, and people don't know. People just wait for them to volunteer for big companies, but there are people who are doing stuff. Just for
Mm.
instance, take for instance Career Life with McAden. This is such a beautiful project that you are doing. Helping people to become
Yeah,
better
thank
as
you.
professionals, right? Imagine having to volunteer for you. You're learning, you're getting insights, you're doing something different. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you need to be able to do these things that would help you to grow. These are things that would enhance your skills. These are things that will groom you, you know. And it's important that we also improve on our soft skills. I can't overemphasize this part, because a lot of us are focused on what we can do as technical skills. If they say,
Mm.
okay, as a writer, I'm a content writer, I'm an academic, and all those are specific things. But in terms of soft skills, those are things like empathy, things like adaptability. Those are soft skills that you
Mm.
need. Like emotional intelligence, it goes a long way in helping to stay relevant, stay highly valued in a competitive environment, especially during these kinds of times that we are in.
Mm.
And lastly, please be resilient. It's tough, and it's tough for everybody, not just one
Mm.
person. So you need to be able to adapt.
Wow, wow, interesting shit. Time is not our friend today. Time is not our friend today, and
And so,
but I won't rush you. I won't rush you. I would like you to give your best to, to as much questions as we can to it today. Let the audience get the best out of it, and so that we can cause that impact we want to do. We want to have on the society, on the professionals. On the employers and the employees, on those in businesses, entrepreneurs, and the likes. So that's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation. And thank you very much for taking your time to what explain uh, precept by precept, like my pastor would say, precept by precept, line upon lines, and step upon step. So thank you very much, Aderonke, for doing this with us tonight. It's been a conversation indeed. And moving on quickly to the next question. The next question is more like trying to what cement what you just shared with us right now. So the question is, what skills do you? I know you mentioned some of the soft skills earlier on. Then, what skills think are highly demanded during a recession time like we are in right now? What are skills that you think a professional or an entrepreneur should venture into and spend his or her time or money resources to acquire?
okay. Very interesting question, again, but I would say that, first of all, we're in the tech world, please, so everybody should get skills. So, digital skills are things that are very important right now, because we're all going AI, and so it's important that you put that into consideration as an employee, as an entrepreneur, or anything in between. Another skill that is really going high in demand right now is healthcare, medical
Mm,
professionals. You know, we're seeing, especially in Nigeria, we're seeing like a very huge downturn on medical staff, because a lot of them are, trying to quote and unquote jackpot. But
mm,
the truth is, even abroad, I have conversations with a lot of my friends, a lot of clients abroad, and one of the things that we hear is that you know they're short on staff, they're short on medical and healthcare professionals. So those are skills that you want to focus on if you can. Um, Online learning is also another resource, skill that you can also adapt as well. People are wanting to learn on a daily basis. Logistics, e-commerce, because
mm.
again, fuel is
Interesting.
617 naira. We don't know how it's going
Mm.
to be Some places are buying it 650. So people are actually keeping their cars at home and doing a lot of deliveries. So if you can get into the e-commerce or the the logistics business, it will be good. Also financial planning, financial analysis, where we have data analytics, HR analytics, and the likes of that. Those are skills that are very in demand right now. Mental health, wellness services. I remember somebody reaching out to me to say, "Oh, do you know any employee wellness organization that helps with this for organizations?" Those are already coming up on board as well. And I think renewable energy is also something, because I mean, we need lights, and we need to constantly upgrade in our systems and things like that. So those are skills that are currently, I think, in demand. At least so far so good.
In fact, you mentioned so many of them, and I was just thinking about them, and I can't. There is none of them that is not needed right now, which means that there are numerous skills out there for professionals. Saying I don't have a job should not come at all, because some of these skills that you mentioned are even skills that you can start making money on your own. And what freedom can you enjoy better where you can make money at your own convenience time? I like that, and I'm joining that group. Don't forget me, please. I'm joining that group. I want to make money. Corporate life needs a lot of funding, so I need to make money. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been an interesting conversation, and I'm sure our guests, our audience, are enjoying the show tonight. It's been an interesting one. So I have also here on the show, watching us live right now, is we have 𝗛𝗶𝗴𝗵𝗹𝘆. Thank you, awesome 𝗛𝗶𝗴𝗵𝗹𝘆, saying awesome to us. Thank you. Thumb up to you. Please give us some thumb up from the audience point. And we also have my favorite friend on the show is Priscilla Amadi, watching us also, the evangelist, service culture evangelist, also here watching us live and direct. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sure we have a lot of people coming also to listen to you, because you've always shared values on your pages, whether on Instagram, whether on Facebook, whether on LinkedIn particularly. You've always been sharing fantastic ideas, concept, and knowledge, information that helps the professionals to become better at whatever they are doing. So because of our time, I just want us to move very fast now. We want to move with the speed of light. Yes, thank you, audience, for joining us on the show tonight. Quickly moving on to the next question because of our time. I think we are moving on to question 5. Okay, now that's question number 6. Because of our time, we'll be fast with this right now. So how do you show your commitment to continuous learning and the professional development, so as to what? To be seen. Now visibility comes to the question, as to be seen as a valuable asset to your organizations,
Okay, very nice question, because a lot of people don't. This again is something that can be very challenging for a lot of employees. I would say that the first thing is set clear goals. Those who know me know that I would say do a SWOT analysis of yourself. When I say do a SWOT, it's very important. That's the first thing you should think about.
Okay.
Do a self-assessment of yourself and know where you are good at, where you're not good at. Focus on changing the parts that are not good. Like I said before, stay up to trends in your organization, like in your industry rather. There are different organizations out there that are focused specific to your industry. So if you're in the HR industry, look for trends in the HR industry that are currently happening. If you're in the tech, the same thing. Everything has its own industry. So stay up to trends that are happening. Then make sure that you have an accountability partner. I think it was yesterday that I shared, my friends on LinkedIn Priscilla Amadi. Like I always shout out to her. I'm sure she'll be shy, but you know, those are things that would push you to become better persons. And those are things that would help you in the long run. Also, share your knowledge. You're not. I mean, you have so much in you. Why aren't you sharing it with others to learn from? So build a learning network for yourself. Create that personal brand that will help you. This is the time. See, there are plenty noisemakers in this, especially in this professional thing, right? And you don't want to be left in the back when you have so much value to give. If you have value to give, don't allow the noisemakers to overshadow what you can. So it's
that's true.
a very strong network of learning. Build your personal brand. Focus on impacting. I was sharing in my community as well that it's not enough for you to know what you have, but you have to be able to impact other people as well. I mean, that way your people can tell that this is what you can do. These people can be able to say, okay, when they sleep and they wake up, if they ask you, who's an HR person that you can talk about. You're calling Aderonke Salami, you're calling 𝗕𝗲𝗵𝗆, you're calling the big names in the industry, because they've been able to share. Do you understand? They've been able to build a personal brand for themselves.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think we have more comments coming from the audience side. Also, we have Truth. Truth is bitter. That's the name. I hope I got the pronunciation correctly. Thank you also for joining us. We have so many people joining us on the conversation tonight. And please, if you are not visible, it's because you have not dropped a comment in the comment box. Drop a comment box. Drop a comment in the comment box and say hello to us. Tell us where you are joining us from. In fact, all the people that are watching us tonight, please drop a comment in the comment box. Share your opinion on each of the questions we are asking as we continue on the conversation. Because of time, I want to quickly move on to the next question. The next question is, I think we're moving on to question number 7. Question 7 is, so we have it on the screen. How can you become a problem solver? Because you mentioned something relating to that earlier on. How do you become a problem solver? So and contribute massively, innovatively. With innovative solution to your workplace or your organization in such a way that whatever you are contributing is having meaningful impact. So how do you become someone like that? Is it something you are born with, or you go into it?
No, it's not something that you're born with. Trust me. I mean, there's some people that are gifted that way. I know a few persons that are gifted with solutions, but you can. I was going to say cultivate, like I think we're in a farm, but I mean, say that
Yes,
you can groom
Okay.
yourself. You can groom yourself with a number of skills, your mindset, your approaches to becoming a problem solver. The first thing, I think I mentioned this before. Have a growth mindset. Embrace, intelligence, embrace excellence, embrace, seeing challenges and finding solutions. And that stems from you mastering what you know how to do. A lot of people, I mean, in the bid to want to become something current or trendy, you see some people jump from HR to data analytics. From data analytics, they're running to they're running to. While it is okay for you to learn as many skills as you can, it is important that you also master what you know how to do best. I'll say this, that, and I shared it the last time I spoke in another engagement. I said that if there's anything you want to do in this life, make sure you read Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers. Reason because a lot of people are so used to, especially the younger generation, and kudos to them. for taking the initiative, going out there, becoming better. But the truth is, if you do not have, if you don't have the skill set, if you don't groom yourself to be where you ought to be, you will see yourself, getting to that ladder and falling down gracefully, for a lack of better word. And so the book helps you to understand that when it comes to becoming an expert, becoming good at something that you're doing, you should spend at least 10,000 hours, at least, to be good at just one thing. It means that you're constantly doing that thing for 10,000 hours. And, you further broke it down.
10,000 hours.
Yeah, you further broke it down that for you to be able to do 10,000 hours, you need to spend at least 10 years. I can assure you that you can do that in less time. It doesn't have to be 10,000 hours, but it means that you're just spending so much time doing the same thing that you're doing. It might sound boring and all of that, but that consistency is something that will help you. That helps you become a problem solver, such that, if anybody has to think about somebody to solve a problem, it is you that they're calling, because they know that you know how to do it. Do you understand? I think that's why, because of time. Don't let me go, because I can go.
Because of time. Because of time. We will have to come back to time issues maybe in the future. Management of time for productive engagement as a professional. So thank you very much. We can see Priscilla's comment on the screen right there. She's saying awesome, fantastic questions. Thank you. And she's telling us also that she's joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. We would like all our audience to actually tell us where you're joining us, so that we can know how far is our coverage at Corporate Life with McAden. So we can do better in terms of reach for the impact, for the work of impact. And with us doing the work of impact in the studio right now, at this moment, at this junction, at this period in time, at this second in time, is Aderonke Salami, discussing with us right here, becoming a highly valued staff amid an economic recession. Thank you very much, Aderonke Salami, for doing this with us. I can't thank you enough. So because of our time, we want to move on to the next question. And the next question is question number 8. I do hope time waits for us a bit, at least give us some minutes to catch up. And then the question number 8 here is, how can you effectively communicate and demonstrate your value to your superior? Because now your superior will be a judge of how far you can go in your organization, and to your superior and colleagues during this recession period.
All right. So I would say that the first thing is, understand what is expected of you. You can't communicate if you don't know what is expected of you. It's very important that you know what's expected of you, and you are aligned in that area of giving, of tailoring your solutions based on that, in terms of how you place your priorities. The next thing is, when it comes to communicating with your superiors, come from the angle of achievements. I have done this, I've been able to achieve this. It helps you, a lot. It helps you because they will want to know, okay, this person is taking initiative, this person is proactive, this person is coming with solutions, right? And be very free with your ideas, share, even if you don't get the right response, if you don't get the right what's the word I'm looking for? If you're not getting the right response that you need, please share your ideas, even if, regardless, because that way you'll be shocked at the fact that you are being you are watched, you're being quote and unquote judged based on that. People are being watched on a regular basis, and that is used as a benchmark to how you are treated, whether we like it or not. That's just the truth. And at the end of the day, like I said before, collaboration is key.
Thank you very much. Now we need to be precise with all our responses to the next available question, because time is just drawing closer to that hour, that point where we need to bring the show to an end. But then before then, we have about 5 questions to us to still tackle. So I'm moving on straight to the next one. Economic recession can come with emotional distress. How can one maintain a positive attitude, because this can affect anyone? And how can you maintain a positive attitude and resilience in such period?
I think I said this before, but I'll reiterate it again. Have a positive mindset. That's the best that I can say, right? But not only that, also seek support. Work-life integration is very important. If you need to stop for a while, please stop for a while. I mean,
Mm.
if something happens, God forbid, happens to you, somebody else will take on that role. So seek support, engage with other people in your environment, your family, and all of that. Also, planning, especially
Mm.
financial planning. If you don't have to go out, please do not go out. It's not compulsory.
Exactly.
Sure, if you have to, what's the word now? If you have to speak to your HR and find a common ground as to how you can, go around this next. If your salaries are not increased, if nothing is added to it, if there's no relief for you, you need to be able to plan around what you currently have. So financial planning is also key. Then please stay healthy, and practice gratitude.
All right, practice gratitude. That's the last word there for me. Practice gratitude, because what you think you don't have, somebody is anxiously waiting for you to drop that thing so that you can grab the next thing. I think I saw a video related to that I don't know, on someone's status, and it was so funny. It was so funny. Yeah, no, it was on LinkedIn. It was on LinkedIn. So while you are busy looking out for something else, someone is busy looking out for you to drop that opportunity. So practice gratitude and appreciate what you have. Thank you very much, Aderonke. Very quickly, we're moving close to the end of the words conversation, and we can call it a day for tonight's discussion. So the next question is, what do you think about building a strong support system? Does does it have any usefulness during an economic recession? And how can you build and maintain uh strong relationship with key stakeholders in your organization? So that's the question over there. I think you can see it on the screen.
Yes, I can. And that sounds like 50 questions in one.
Just summarize
Anyway,
the question because of our time, please. Thank you.
yes, I will. So I would say that it is actually important to build a strong support system. We can't do it alone. That has been established already. But how can you actually do this? Like minds, have the same people who are in the same who have the same vision goals that you have. That's one. And in terms of building and maintaining strong relationships with key stakeholders, I would say that it's a two-way thing. What you give is what you get. If you don't give, you don't get. If you don't get, you
Mm,
don't give. It's just a symbiotic relationship, and it is important that you're not just taking. Don't be a parasitic.
mm.
It's not. It's unfair to the other person. So yes, build strong systems, and you can only do that with people of like minds.
All right, thank you very much, Aderonke. One thing I want to add to that, to build that strong relationship, is that to build a strong relationship, take feedback from people, and review their feedback to be sure that they are correct, because not all feedback are actually true. Because human beings tend to what to give you feedback based on their interest. you know, People want to tell
Exactly.
you things that they feel like, okay, you should at least give me something that at least towards me. Take feedback. I'm learning to actually work on feedback to all, from people, concerning what I do in my place of work. So thank you very much, Adeoke. Going straight to I think this week we are almost there at the last question. I think this is second to the last question, and the question is, what step can you take to demonstrate your commitment to the organization, mission and goals during this challenging period? Because um, at this challenging period, people are distracted, and things keep changing, and one thing remain constant. You can guess what remain constant. Okay, let me just
Oh,
allow you. Let me allow you
sorry,
answer the question.
thank you because of our time. All right, I would say that, to be honest, most people are not going to like this answer that I'm going to give, but I have to be honest about it. We are all, I mean, every single person is responsible for every kobo, naira, dollar, pounds, whatever currency it is. You know, we're all responsible for it coming to the organization. So this period in time, I mean, this is where I believe that a lot of people should embrace employee branding or employer branding, if you ask me. And that is when we talk a lot about the organization that we fall into. I'm sure that, yes, I know that things are really difficult and hard at this period of time, but we also need to show that we are committed to what it is that we do. And so from the gates man to the MD or the CEO or the founder or the owner, we all have a role to play in making sure that the mission and the goals of the company is, fulfilled. I mean, have the mindset of an entrepreneur, meaning that the business is also yours as well.
Yours,
Um,
yeah.
that would help, in making sure that, you stay committed. It means that the business itself is still even growing in this area.
All right, thank you very much, Aderonke. Thank you very much. This is just 2 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, and we are coming to the end of the conversation with this last question. What is your closing remark, Aderonke?
I would say, when it comes to becoming a highly valued staff, um, it's the same way I said in the beginning, that you are responsible for that. Nobody is going to do it for you if you do not do it for yourself. Take that responsibility. All the things that we've shared. I'm so happy that this is on YouTube, so you can always come back and just pick a few things and use that to your advantage, and it will help you a lot.
Thank you very much. You can always come back to refer to this discussion on YouTube. Thank you very much, Aderonke, for this time. I mean, for this discussion, it took us perseverance, it took us ruggedness towards actually bring this show to you. And please don't make a joke out of this conversation, because it may sound funny the way we are presenting the show right now, right? And the show may sound funny, but the content is of value to you and for your development. So thank you very much, Aderonke, for doing this with us on the show tonight. It's been a Friday indeed for me. And for the first time, I'm saying thank you, all the audience also. We are now live on YouTube. Corporate Live is now live on YouTube, so you can always watch us on YouTube if you have the time to be there. So thank you very much. It's been a conversation. So we say a very big thank you to Aderonke for joining us on the call tonight, and then doing this great conversation with us, sharing valuable information with us on the show. It's been an hour of conversation indeed. And this is the kind of conversation I like to actually have on the show. Thank you very much for making it count. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So bye-bye to everyone joining us live and direct. This is Corporate Live. Remember, we do this every Friday evening. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. It's been a conversation here at Corporate Life Studio, Corporate Life Show with McAden. It's been a fantastic conversation. Thank you very much for joining us on the call tonight. I mean, it's been a show indeed, and I'm sure you've gotten some vital information regarding the content of our conversation tonight. So please join us again next time, same time, as we bring another topic. And next week is going to be a fantastic one. It's going to be an enlightening one. So don't miss it. See you next week, Friday, for another episode. Bye bye for now.